coming to you live from Harrah headquarters here once again. This is episode 30 of Not Another Goddamn Podcast. And, well, basically tonight, I guess we're probably going to talk a little bit about Pantera.
Yeah. And actually, it's a there's a sub one too. The Search for More Money.
Search for More Money.
If anyone wants to shoot the shit about Pantera and Mel Brooks, let us know. Because that's what we're probably going to talk about. And I will say something, kind of directing people to, what up, Nate?
Hey, Nate. We got one viewer. It's Nate.
I'll direct them to Diaz's latest podcast, man. Did you see that one?
I have not seen it.
Jennifer Pryor was on it.
That's cool.
And I'm going to tell you what, dude. I loved him, but that's Diaz's man.
Really?
You know, that's his Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah.
That's his Steve Vai.
That's his, yeah.
and here it's strange because usually, you know, Joey and I share a lot of things in common.
Mm-hmm.
We're ramblers. We have lots of stories. We were pieces of shit. What can I say?
I think that's why I love Joey Diaz so much. It's kind of like hanging out with you and listening to all your crazy ass stories.
Thank you for putting him in my direction. It was you. You were directly responsible for introducing me to Diaz. And I've seen him in hundreds of different things, but fucking knew none the wiser who he was.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
I mean, when you actually listen to him talk and tell a little bit of his personal story and shit like that, it gets with you then, because, like, you're like, man, this guy's been through shit. This guy went away for fucking kidnapping.
Let me tell you something, Kenny. See, I grew up in New Jersey, you know. My mother, she was Cuban. She did a little Kentucky up the nose. I was in the back, you know. I mean, he's just hilarious.
Oh my god,
and,
you got it, dude.
Yeah, well, I've been fucking. I listen to it when I go to sleep, man. I mean, and some of his are more street.
Oh man.
Rogan's clientele is going upward. Mm-hmm. You know, where Diaz is picking up kind of more the people that I relate to. I mean, it was awesome when he had DLR on there.
Yeah.
And a couple of the other people I pay attention to, and it keeps me fresh. I strangely enough, I'm caught up with news.
Yeah.
You know, these fucking things keep your ass up with news.
Man, I don't.
Who would have thought?
Fuck
news.
I don't want no goddamn news on here.
I don't want politics and shit. The only time you're gonna hear us talk is about how fucked we all are.
Yeah. And that's universal.
That's universal. Universal. The shit is coming. And everyone else does that podcast.
It is, yeah.
So, you know, unless we get a guest or get someone on there who can shed a little light and make people interested in something, that's probably best to table it. And let's go with what we know. And that's making total asses of ourselves, failing at everything we do, and attempting to try to fail just so we don't fail, but we fail at that as well. And basically talk a lot of useless shit that maybe nobody else gives a shit about. And if you're down for that, hang out with us. We're all children of Skundagia that don't give a sugar's frosted shit about our asses, let alone yours.
Oh, fuck no. Yeah, that's...
you know, so there's our take on our blatant use of the drug fuck it all.
Yeah.
And...
It's powerful shit.
Yeah. How fucked are we? We are so fucked, we didn't even wear pants to our high school proms. There it is. Yep. That's it. And I'm not just talking West Virginia. I'm not talking the United States. I'm not talking North America. I'm not talking the world. I'm not talking nothing. I'm talking about all of it. Somebody out there has got a butthole bigger than our entire galaxy, and they're just gonna fart, and that's gonna be it.
A cosmic fart, done in by a cosmic fart.
His fecal.
Oh, dude, it's like Rick and Morty.
His fecal matter. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna be exterminated by a fart.
Goodbye, Moon Man. Goodbye, Moon Man. Goodbye. Shut the fuck up about fucking Moon Man.
No, my friend, there is no KY.
There ain't no
There is not
Vaseline.
enough KY
There's just a
in the
match and a
universe.
little bit of gasoline.
Oh.
Cube. Yay, yay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about as political as we get, because you know, and I take the man Everlast for his word. They're all hoods. They're all crooks. So don't ask us about it. Don't ask us what we think about God. Don't ask us what we think about politics and religion. Keep those fucking things to yourself.
Yeah, because you're not gonna like our opinions on none of that
Yeah,
shit.
you ain't gonna like shit. You ain't gonna like it. And
Well,
honestly,
maybe you will, and maybe you're just fucked up as we are.
people I've learned the hard way aren't.
58th Street.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Matt, how you doing? That's the only thing you can do, dude. What did we do that whole time at the job fair? We just walked around shaking our damn heads and laughing out loud.
LOL SMH.
It just FTW.
FTW.
There you go.
Yeah, baby. So,
all right.
who introduced you to the Pantera?
Oh God, Pantera. Larry Chapman.
Yeah?
He had
Is
Cowboys from Hell on tape.
Is he watching?
I don't know. He sent me something a little bit ago. Hopefully he'll be watching.
Hopefully he'll tune in.
But
I'm gonna say probably Josh Ringer probably was my gateway to Pantera, because me and Josh used to hang out and we would listen to we listened to like old heavy music, even in 2000 when we were hanging out. We listened to old shit. We were listening to Ozzy.
We did Josh.
Yes, we did. He is part of let's see, Hellbent Glory and.
I usually
what else
watch
he
bands.
used to play in.
I usually just don't watch bands.
Buster has it going on, man.
But
maybe one day we'll get him down here or get Austin down here. One of the cats from Knuckle Duster. That'd be a lot of fun.
that would be
if
a
any of
whole
you guys
lot
are
fun.
watching, if you're in Charleston sometime and you want to come hang out with us and shoot the shit, and go live shenanigans with us, please do. We're actually I'm just gonna put this out into the universe if anybody's watching. We are
Steven.
shopping the idea.
Oh, and hi Carol, happy birthday.
Of bringing on some guests, people of different areas of expertise, people who do different things, people from bands, if you're out there, if you play in a band and you want to come on here and just hang out, be done with us for an hour or two, promote whatever you got going on. If you draw, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, if you're a mover and shaker of any sort, we want to talk to you, especially if you got things that you want to promote. If you want to cross promote with us, we're looking for stuff to do, man. We're just here trying to make some noise. We got some of you guys watching. I mean, hell, there's 10 people on here now.
Yeah, we're just, you have to understand something.
It's late on a Wednesday, but we're doing it.
The way we're doing this is we're building as we go.
Yeah,
we're building as we go.
This is very ghetto. This is very DIY.
Yeah.
You should see what we're doing this on, man. It's literally like
it's a Google book
with a keyboard. Yeah, it's a Google book.
Yeah,
this is the keyboard.
This is it's as ghetto as fuck as you can get. But you know what?
Because we're ghetto.
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, maybe if things start picking up, and if you fuckers actually start like supporting something rather than chastise it and tell people that they're stupid and wrong and do it this way.
Well, we are stupid and wrong, but we're still here, man. Whatever.
How else you gonna fucking learn?
We are stupid.
I'm not yelling at you, baby. I'm just yelling at...
We are stupid and we are wrong, but we're doing shit.
I'm a fucking idiot, you know? You're not fucking old. Shut it. Jesus.
But yeah, man, we're just looking for people to do the damn thing with us, you know, and
oh yeah, and I think I could, if this picks up and takes on, I think people wouldn't say no. I don't think people would say no.
So first, what's the first Pantera record you listened to, like, all the way
Cowboys from Hell.
Mine too.
And
Mine too.
I'll tell you what, you're gonna look at me and go, for me it was lackluster.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. There was a few moments. I'm gonna tell you what.
See, I wasn't as seasoned a heavy metalhead as you are.
I'd heard it all before.
When I listened, see, yeah, but like to me, it was kind of like, oh wow, this is really some cool.
The
shit.
only thing that really kind of stuck out with me is right off the bat the Van Halen formula. That very similar Van Halen formula.
Brothers in a band.
Yeah, brothers, the outlandish, outspoken, psychotic singer, and the fucking bass man in the back chugging fucking whiskey.
Yeah.
High pitched fucking notes, slamming a fucking bass, and just keeping that goddamn rhythm. And I'm gonna sidebar here. Rex
Benny
Brown
or Daryl did hear you say that, you know, they would have been tickled. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They loved it. Well, fuck, Eddie put the guitar that he's holding on the cover of Van Halen 2, that white one, in the coffin, in the Kiss coffin with Dime.
That's,
you know,
amazing.
And that's chilling.
Yeah.
And shows you the power that crazy ass goddamn Dallas Stars loving Texan had. Yeah, fuck. I will say, we've got shit to talk about. Just pin that Dallas Stars Pantera.
Dallas Stars.
Yeah. This is actually factoid, and it was actually an ESPN on the hockey news. Pantera made hockey news once. We'll get to that in a moment. But Rex Brown was one of the sweetest guys I ever met. And lovingly, when he signed my entire Pantera discography, Phil signed it twice. He was so fucked up. There's some things he signed twice. I'm like, wow, I wonder if I can get double the money for it. No. Phil isn't, everybody has their opinion on Phil, and you're not wrong.
Never met Phil.
Oh,
I saw him probably once, never
good.
really met him.
It's probably good because he is an asshole greatly to many. But he was absolutely sweet to me.
Well, that's
and saved my life. I almost died in that fucking super joint ritual pit. But anyways, what I was mentioning was Rex, when he stood there, he looked at my discography and he's like, are you even going to be here after the show? I said, dude, I'm with two girls and I don't know what they're planning to do. And I said, would you sign them, please? And he went, God damn it, kid. Let me tell you what. If my hands cramp when I'm on stage tonight, because it's just us, I'm going to either kick your ass or flip you off while I'm on stage. You better hide from me. And he's just sneering while he's signing and just slice, bow. Rex, you know, he just all over the shit. And just rock starish. And while they're playing, like I think they were doing the Seed from Down to Bus on Your Hedgerow, and he's yeah, that fucking heavy run, and he's wearing his fucking hand out. And at the end of the song, he starts shaking his hand, and he immediately starts doing this in the crowd, like scanning the fucking bar, looking for me. And when I saw him doing that, I walked over and I saw him shaking his hand. I kind of worked my way over. I was like, Rex! And he just looks at me and goes, ow! And just looks at me and he starts jerking the bass off and points and says, you're asshole. You're asshole. motherfucker, sweet dude. And
That is
don't
hysterical.
sit here and tell me that motherfucker wasn't a machine right beside of Vinny and Don.
Oh yeah, man, he was equally
Oh,
to all of them.
because
yeah.
my personal favorite Harrah album, and one of the top five greatest heavy albums of all time, in my personal opinion, it's not yours, it's mine. And if you don't like it, make your own, so I can tell you I don't like yours. So, you know, but Rex, dude, on that bass line in Becoming,
Yeah.
like when Dom's whammy and you hear him right behind it. To Dom's. That fucking song kills me. And Vinny's just. I mean, dude, it's fucking on. That shit is just, it's a goddamn machine. And they're incredible like that. And Phil was the bong flavored icing that covered that delicious liquor cake.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I was fortunate enough, well, you were too. You were fortunate enough to grow up in the era when they were alive, when they were playing, when they were a thing.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
They're kind of up there with like fucking shit. I don't want to mention older bands, but all the older bands are still playing.
mm-hmm.
Well, you heard Led Zeppelin's gonna do a show soon, didn't you?
What?
I saw them one of my fucking
Right.
like as news. Yeah.
Where?
I don't. They're replacing. Look it up. See if you find it.
What?
Yes, Black Sabbath just finished, but you never know. Well, if Ozzy don't quit fucking himself up,
Yeah. Well, did you have to cancel on tour?
I bet you he broke his hip. I'll bet you, because he's weak. That shit. Coming from personal experience, when you are sick, your bones are weak, your body is weak, your fucking will is weak. You're a nagging, sour, hateful, angry piece of shit. Because it hurts, and you're trying to get better. But god damn it, nobody ever can let you get better. And even if you don't want to get better, you still get better. You just don't win.
They're calling it Led Zeppelin 2? What's up with that? No, that's not it.
No, look, it's like, look up, like, in news, Led Zeppelin. No, it wasn't a reunion. They're doing, like...
Reunion rumors.
Was it a rumor? Yeah, you ain't wrong.
But if they get back together, man, I'm all in. Celebration Day, just Celebration Day. Good stuff.
In the evening, that brings back so many years of my youth.
Allie says it won't let me watch you live because she doesn't have the app.
What?
Why?
Bullshit.
That sucks.
God damn it.
It's pretty funny that she's able to comment on it, but she can't watch it.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I love you. And he'll tell you later if you do get it to work, baby. But it's watching you Led Zeppelin's favorite watch most things to eat. Aaron!
What's up? Cray.
What's up, Lee? How you doing, little man? This is... Oh, yeah. That's a better Lee there, though. But that's great. Wow, there's lots of badass Mafakus out there.
Lots of good people.
Yeah,
right
man.
That's a good time.
Mm.
So, we digress.
We was digress. We're talking about everybody on here, but the thing about Pantera was they were a big fuck you, Aaron.
Vegas. Lucky dog. I love it.
You know what I'd be doing right now if I was out there standing outside
Not
trying to
watching us. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah, I'd be out there at the castle, man.
But thanks anyway.
Yeah, I'd be out at the castle. Even if they weren't playing hockey, I'd just be like, look, I'm in a place where a playoff team is. Oh, who wants to kiss me? I said, who wants to kiss me? Go Golden Knights. That's the team I like this year.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna fucking lose, but go Golden Knights.
That's a thing.
Yeah, man. If money comes in and I'm able to do stupid shit with money, that might be my new West Coast team.
Yeah.
Because I do love fucking Vegas.
Maybe you're gonna eventually get me into hockey, man. I don't know.
Dude, it's a pure and beautiful fucking sport. It is a pure and beautiful sport. It's the one sport that went under simply because nobody was watching it because everybody is too wowed by men who aren't as extraordinary. It's as simple as that. You know? I mean, it's just as simple as that. And I hear you. I'll root for the Pens in the East. I'll root for the Pens in the East this year. I ain't got nothing to lose. My original 6 ass is at home watching all this hockey entertainment. Fucking Rangers. We start playing good when we find out we lost the berth. It's like soccer, but exciting. With ice sticks, pads, and fighting. Fighting.
Lots of fighting.
Well, dude, I showed a friend of mine this video. It was a 12-minute video in 1981 with the Boston Bruins and my Minnesota North Stars. The team that ain't around anymore. And it was 12, almost 13 goddamn minutes of N's and B's and blood. There were bench clears. They were clearing fucking benches on top of each other, beating the shit out of each other. Cops in the middle of it, the cameraman's in the middle of it, all you see just up close jerseys and fists wailing. It was fucking great. I was so proud of my fucking North Stars. I miss that team.
What's Nate plugging there? Windrose.
And fuck Norm Green. What a perfect way to transgress into what I was saying earlier. For all you Pantera heads out there, all you Panther fucks, and I know I'm one of them, I love Pantera. I personally like Down much better, but Pantera was the soundtrack of my 20s. While I was drunk and fucked up and not giving a shit and having a good time playing music and being a psychotic little juvenile delinquent pirate on acid, I ended up using them as the soundtrack that carried me on. There's lots of crazy fucking stories I can tell you that we'll have while we're doing this. Shedding Skin by Pantera's playing. And that, you know, I can hear it all. Pantera, Typo Negative, House of Pain. It was all in that cusp of that period of time in my life.
Yeah.
That's what I listened to. If you didn't like it, goddamn my ass kiss it. But anyhow, in the late 80s to the early 90s, Minnesota North Stars owner Norm Green made a very public yet left-handedly dirty deal to the motherfuckers in Dallas that told everybody in Minnesota, hey, just keep putting money into the team. We might have everything taken care of. He's already looking at new fucking jerseys, those goddamn Dallas Stars jerseys. He was already agreeing and deciding on those to get the North off of it. Mm. So anyhow, what ended up happening is into the season, he announces, well, we're going to Dallas. Sorry, folks. That state was without a team for 10 fucking years until Columbus came in. And that was the Blue Jackets. And when the Blue Jackets was allowed a team, they needed a West Coast team to off-center the NHL to give it a full 30-team roster, Canadian and American. And they were taken off of the minor league success in there, and then the second place was Minnesota, Twin Cities. So they just built the XL Energy Center, which they called the X. I don't even know if they still play there or not. And the Minnesota Wild came in, and I was so fucking. They're still one of my top 5 favorite teams. Or well, yeah, they could do better. I'm just and if I've got really heavily into it, I'd probably end up hurting people and probably myself. But that's no shit. If you know me, I'm psychotic when it comes to fucking hockey.
Oh yeah.
And well, anyhow, what ended up happening is Dom and fucking Vinny were big fans of all Texas teams. Well, if you know me long enough, within an hour, you will hear me say the words, I don't like no goddamn Texas team. Sorry, just don't. I don't even know why. I just don't like them. I just don't like them. And there's other teams I don't like, but I'm not going to get into that right now. That's a tale for another day, and I want to try to stay as on point as I can. But anyways, then after a while you started seeing Vinny wearing Dallas Stars jerseys and be wearing them while he's on stage. Dallas Stars t-shirts. And well, they wrote a jingle for the Dallas Stars. And it sounds a whole lot like stuff that was taken from the song Piss that they put out that was a lot like, fuck. It was a song that they put, it was during the sessions of Far Beyond, or Vulgar Display.
Harrah song about Popeye. Oh, we need to. We can totally do it.
We just may have to do that.
100%. I'd do it.
I'd do it too. Because I'd make it fucking epic. I mean, you know, anyone that's ever heard King of the Aegean knows I can write a goddamn fucking I can write an epic. Hello, that band back there, they were a punk band. Don't worry about them. I didn't know anything about them. I don't know nothing about them motherfuckers. I don't know nothing.
Not a thing.
Yeah, so I can't write no epic songs. In fact, I don't know how to write. I went to school. But anyways, the song, every time Dallas played it, they won the game.
Yeah.
So Mike Modano and a bunch of other fucking players from Dallas decided to drive to Don's house. Even on viewer access, they're all standing around pouring beer in the fucking cup, as the tradition. And Lord Stanley's Cup holds one, or conveniently, 2 pitchers of beer we would have. Like in a bar, Lord Stanley made it that way. That's why it's the Stanley Cup. It was just a bowl that they drank from, both teams drank from, as a celebration for a game well played.
Right.
Paid $25 for it. stainless silver. And then they started building the tiers on it. And then after a while, and this is all relevant, motherfuckers, relevant.
Relevant.
I ain't trailing. Goddamn my ass kissing. They take plates off after a while and take them to Toronto, to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Across the street, of course, is Gretzky's 4-star restaurant. I almost eat a dead dog's ass to go eat there for free. Anyways, what ends up happening, Mike Madonna and company take Lord Stanley's Cup to a one Daryl Lance Abbott's house and said, hell, you helped us win it. Might as well drink from it. You know, Lord Stanley's Cup wanted to come and make a visit. We brought Stanley to say hi. Goddamn, Stanley Black 2, motherfucker. Let's go, 3, blue. You know, he's drinking out of the fucking thing. They're drinking out of it, pouring off of other things. They pour the Stanley Cup on some things. Pussies and asses and shit and titties. Players are drinking out of it. Place is a goddamn fucking modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Just with with North America's oldest and still used trophy. Don't think about that. Then somewhere, one of them drunk goddamn moronic Texan fucks, and I do slightly take offenses, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, decided it would be funny to take it to the top of the house and throw it out of a bedroom window into a pool because they wanted Stanley to take a dive. They put an 18-inch dent in the side of it.
Wow.
But they swore the cup went straight in. That dude who's beat Stanley Cups say. There was a cute anecdote commercial of the Hanson brothers finding him in an elevator in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And beat the shit out of a hockey all-star game. And beat the shit out of him and took it to Las Vegas to the Pawn Stars place. And that dude, oh, I know a guy. And then that dude shows up. And he's all beat up, and there's the three Hanson brothers looking at him, and he looks at them and goes, really, guys? And the three of them haul ass out of that place.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dude, fucking great. So, you know, there's a lot of history and culture behind that cup. And Dimebag Darrell, in true Dimebag Darrell fashion, had to pull out his dick, with the little state of Texas tattooed on the tip of it, and piss all over that goddamn fucking cup.
Oh my God.
Well, he didn't do it for real. I'm just saying it figuratively. But I mean, just now that cup has been in the darkest, deepest point of hell, probably.
Unless they wiped their ass with it.
Yeah, unless they went and took it to Norway and a couple of black metal dudes like sacrificed the baby in it or something. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them crazy fuckers. They killed each other. Why not kill the baby? We sacrifice it in the name of the Satan. Let the blood cover the chalice.
Dude, I never got into black metal.
I loved it when I was a kid.
Wasn't ever a thing for me.
But see, the thing for me is, if you've listened to SOD Speak English or Die, you've heard it all. And I mean, you know, they added the dark mysticism to it and changed some of the chords and shit. And some of it was very clever. Some of it I like. I mean, I still love that shit. But the newer shit, yeah, not a fan. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, it's not like that old time black metal. Still not that old time. the kind of let down your soul for the God's rock and roll. You know, I mean, yeah, you're not going to have that kind of rapport because it's not dangerous anymore. Yeah. Yep. We've already put our dick in that dog too. That dog's impregnated.
I mean, like, what can you do at this point to shock people? You know, though, I mean, like, it is kind of like
have talent.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's what YouTube is for, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what YouTube is for. YouTube's for all the talented people.
Yeah, and because see, they'll actually make money.
YouTube's kind of a, you know, and what it is kind of a leveler. You know, like, you know, if we had any talent, we'd be YouTube stars.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, but you gotta kind of pick it up, and that's kind of what we're doing here, you know.
Yeah.
These first few episodes, guys, you know, we're asking for feedback. We're talking to people because if we're wanting to do something different and we're wanting to change something and we're wanting to entertain people on a format that everybody can get involved in, you can either do one of two things. Tell us what you'd like to see, or don't watch us. And shut your fucking mouth. You know, don't criticize something that's just coming to life.
Yeah.
Like a baby, that baby ain't gonna understand you. That baby just gonna shit and piss in your face.
Or do criticize, because that's how we grow. But you know,
give us some constructive criticism.
Yeah, I'm good for that.
You know, don't be farting in my mouth and telling me it's fucking Fresca.
Fresca. Oh Lord.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't give a fuck. It's just life's too short to give a fuck.
It is.
So why should you?
Giving a fuck is a terrible burden. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing about poor Allie, man. She gives way too much of a fuck about everything.
I don't so much now. Like a couple of days ago, I got some bad news that I'm not going to get into. But the one thing I will say is, right when my ass was kicked down and I was kind of picking myself up, somebody came over to ask me about spending more money. And yeah, I need it, but I didn't and don't really know how I'm going to handle it. So I kind of was just like, look, I don't know what I'm going to do about the other shit that's much more important. I'm sorry, and I was trying to be nice. And yeah, that person, well, this person said this person said that. You know, they want you to do this and that. And fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a strange one. My dumb ass sneezing. But when I come about and I'm trying to leave because I had someplace to be, you know, kind of kept talking to me, and I was like, I know, I'll see you later, and just kept talking, and all of a sudden the green line goes around my eye. Yeah, well, here's this and here's that. I just, yeah, I'm loud. I'm like, I'm telling people, yeah, fuck you. You know, and yeah, and that's not good behavior. It's not something you should do. And I'm not condoning that or endorsing it.
No.
But sometimes you just gotta, sometimes it's just best to fucking say enough. And people don't want to help you. All they want to do is kick you down. And there are those golden few people who will follow up, who will keep with you, who will stay around. Those are your ride or dies. Those are your wheels fall off people. Those are those are the people that are going to burn up with you up in the atmosphere when you fall back down from not having a steering wheel in your rocket ship. Yeah, we're going to die, but hey, at least you ain't going to die alone, and I ain't either. You know, that's just how it is. But most of the time, those people always overcome somehow. And I'm happy to say I don't have quantity, I have quality.
Yeah.
And those people I cherish greatly. And one of them is the basically the mascot of the program. And someone who ain't in here, actually.
I know, where'd he go?
He's probably in there going, oh, the slaves are talking on that little box again. I think I may go shit in the box and have some supper.
The video of Bogo with the...
Slave! I'm hungry.
I can see the bottom of my bowl.
This is most unacceptable. I mean, he comes in with that. What is going on here? I mean, for real. And for shame. How can you let these people put their stinking buttholes where I lick mine? Or have Kiki do it? I shall not touch my butthole. I don't even like kissing you. You know, I mean, he's got that fucking air to him.
He's the emperor.
He is, man. He comes in there with that little tail just curled up and just commands the room. And if it's his way or no way, and he's just such a little asshole.
He's beautiful.
I draw the line on you talking about your rocket ship, Lee. It's a one-eyed wonder weasel. It's made out of dildo. I'm Rainbow fucking Randolph. Kids love me. But whoever gets that reference gets like a free Harrah pin. Just come up to me and remind me.
It's being back. Oh, I see. Yeah, we're reversed.
Are we reversed?
Yeah, we are. The camera is in like mirror mode here. Yeah.
Can we fix that?
I don't think we can. I don't know if we can. We might be able to. But
No fucking shit. I want to see.
Yeah, everything's backwards. We're all backward. You know, actually, the logo on my shirt is backward.
Ah, look, it's just 2 R's backwards.
But you know, yeah, it's the same forward as backwards. It's palindrome.
Ah,
So it
Richard.
works.
Ah, goodness.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, yeah. I told you that green, man. That green is
I
juicy.
do. I love the green on it. We got it kicked up a notch on the second batch, so.
It's sexy as fuck.
But you know, if you do have one of those first batches shirts with the more faint green, then we know you're OG. So yeah.
OG in the motherfucking. Oh, dude.
Yeah. See, we're reversed. You see it?
What?
Yeah. Yeah, we're backward.
Oh, shit.
Been that way the entire time.
Oh, shit.
Keith says, "Oh, I see. I knew something was telling me to kill."
Fuck it, folks. You know what?
That's just a subliminal.
I guess we're
in opposite land.
We are from the mirror universe. Oh shit! I just come up with another person to have on the show.
Who's that? Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. That will probably be something, and plus that they have probably lots to talk about besides our dumbasses.
Mm.
You know, just saying. But no, man. Lots of respect back to the mighty Pantera and what they did for music and for all of us as people. And what really fucking touched me about them is how much fun they had.
Oh yeah.
How much fun they had.
Dude, they did not shy away from the rock star thing.
No. And even when Phil was in pain, he still somehow managed to keep his fun and games going. That dummy in that Pantera 3 video they throw off the top. And the whole 3 and all that shit. Rolling with the guy. It's hard to be white trash when you're first class. That's why I'm first class. Me and Willie got fucked up one night. We were just on a manner of things. And we wrote roach class on our bellies. And we're standing there with cigarettes in our hands and drinks. Just completely smashed. Utterly smashed. And boy, we did some pretty fucked up things that night. We laughed our asses off that. I mean, it was so much fucking fun.
You and Willie do fucked up shit? Never.
I miss that motherfucker. I mean, but
we need to have him on here sometime.
Yeah, because
come and talk about.
He is the premier toy guy here.
Mm-hmm. That'd be great.
Yeah, Willie is the premier toy guy in the Kanawha Valley, man. He knows his shit. Because when he was helping me and Mom clear out our shit, he would always leave, "What the fuck is this?" And I'd go, "Oh, it's this." And he'd look at me and he'd go, "When did this come out?" 1982. Ideal put it out. Wow! And we'd get to talking about it. I'd give him like a little quick history while we're throwing trash away and clearing out my house. That said neighbors helped get, well, it's, again, maybe someday I'll take us down that dark hole. Everybody. Because, yeah.
Everybody come with me.
Yeah. I mean, no, you don't see the Bobo. That's what we were saying.
He's hiding out.
Solomon Grundy. No, it's Bizarro World is what you're saying. And strangely, I have Bizarros up here, and I bet if we put the camera on them, they'll be mutant zombie Superman. Bet you Diddle-eyed Joe to a damn fun. No, next time I might have to jerk those fuckers down and put the camera out and be like, They look. Oh my God, it's the S. I got messed up one time in a particular bar in Charleston and ripped a mirror off the fucking wall.
The fucking paper towel.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me, I don't think.
I don't know. I'm not so convinced. I don't think you remember most of that night.
Oh shit. Yeah, but I was wearing a Bizarro shirt, and the Bizarro shirt, it's backwards S, and I thought I was wearing a Superman shirt, and I lost it. I fucking lost it in that place.
That's hilarious.
Woo! Yeah. That's probably going to be one that comes back to bite me. But who gives a fuck? That ain't even open anymore, I don't think. But what I'm saying, though, is there ain't no stories like that anymore.
No, man.
There ain't no stories. There isn't a whole lot of that going on. And maybe, hopefully, something will start something up again. Maybe, because that was the best thing about the early 2000s. There was all these fucking crazy-ass bands doing all kinds of crazy-ass different things. And all of us influenced by Tool, Stained, Pantera, Godsmack, Slayer, of course, Sabbath, all the greats. And we were building these mutant hybrid bands with this boogie metal. Yeah, Larry. Thank you for... We mentioned you earlier in this, so go back and listen. You were the one that introduced me to Pantera, remember? Actually, you were with me. It was your car. It was your fucking car. I had the Far Beyond Driven listening party. Yeah, it was your car. I remember. As I had just bought it at fucking Disc Jockey, and we drove the hell around all over the fucking place, listening to Far Beyond Driven. Yes, sir, I do remember that now. Yes. That's when my high-tech boots and metal fell out of the middle of them, and I was dropping them out on the west side. Good times. But anyways, you know, but then when Phil got on the junk, and when Phil got on the junk and he started down that real dark path, and when I went and saw Super Joint Ritual, I truly think he meant well. It's just he was so fucked up, rationale declined in him during the end. Mm-hmm. I think, and he's, you know, I don't know if he's ever come clean and mentioned it, but I think that's what it was. And I can say that because, man, I was there from the beginning. I was there from the beginning of Cowboys from Hell. And like I said earlier, Larry Chapman was the one that he got the tape, and we were listening to it on my little tape recorder. And he was like, listen to that. And I said, I don't care so much. I didn't like Cemetery Gates. And I didn't like Phil's vocals greatly on the first album. It was too Halfordy for me. But then all the drugs and all the partying and all the drinking and all the smoking and the tripping and all that, and Vulgar Display of Power come out, even the album cover, you know, the fist in the face, man. Epic. Fucking epic. And right when that album come out was when I was graduating high school. And, oh my God, that fucking album was, yep, Columbus. Yes, sir. We'll mention that at another time. But jamming the fuck out of the Vulgar Display. And Vulgar Display is awesome, incredible album, just to me personally not as good as Far Beyond Driven. There's more riffs on Far Beyond Driven.
Vulgar Display was when I gave a shit and I tried, it was my exercise album.
No.
It's a very good one. Very good
it's been so many times you practice in your mirror to be just like me, and you just can't see. You ain't got the balls, son. I fight for love, brother. Your friends fight one another. Can't see because your head's your ass in just in case you think you're bad. I crush the rush. I rule you fool and move will stand in your world a week. I speak. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. It was killer. But what tore me up, my favorite thing on Vulgar Display is Hollow. What a sad fucking song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it goes into that and then when it breaks into that second bit, and when it stops and he hits those notes again, you hear someone in the back, oh god damn, that fucking burned. I mean, and then what did them crazy psycho sons of bitches do? And I swear to God, one of these days, Harrah is going to do this. If it kills me, we're going to do this. When they cut Domination and Hollow and put them together, and they called it Dom Hollow. Beautiful fucking song. It should have been done like that. And I wish that they would have actually did a recording of it. Except a live one. They should have went and took that shit back. But they were a band that always went forward. They didn't go back and noodle around with all the older shit. They kept going forward. They went forward. And you could tell that the rhino was getting fatter.
Yeah.
As it got bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was losing its speed. It was losing its gusto, but it was hitting harder and heavier than ever. But it wasn't that baby that it was, that we watched it grow into.
Yeah.
And like somebody from Metal Edge or Metal Maniacs referred to them as rhinoceroses. Or the band as a rhinoceros. And that's a good analogy. Because it was headstrong, they head-butted shit, they were head bangers, it was metal. And each fucking album got heavier. Unlike all these other bands who either puss out Psalm 69 by Ministry. I could do an entire podcast on just Ministry alone. Yes, but I can't open that can of worms. Fuck that. Not right now. I love Ministry, but I gotta stop talking about it because it'll fuck me up. But yeah, Psalm 69 came out around that time too. Yeah, I was listening. I had a friend who had that on tape. And I had the Crows soundtrack with me for a while because I loved Pantera's The Badge on it. And I liked even all the alternative music that was on it. I loved all the stuff. I even liked 9 Inch Nails cover of Joy Division on it. Dead Souls. Yeah, man. When I heard that, I was like, that's fucking Joy Division, ain't it? Well, I'm still proud that at at World's End, I was sitting in the seat, and while everybody else is leaving, this Corrosion by Sisters of Mercy's playing, and I'm just belting it out and just singing, and everybody around me's looking at me. I'm like, what? It's Sisters of Mercy. Go fuck yourself.
I love Sisters.
I do too, man. So yeah, I mean, all those bands were very, very prominent and prevalent in that time. And my album of my youth that was the go-to for me, there was 2 of them. There was, of course, Number of the Beast. Don't leave me. That don't leave me. That don't go far from me.
A lot of Cure hate going on.
I so much hate the Cure. They have some great moments. I can totally roll with the Cure, but they're not my favorite. They're not my favorite, but I love them and I won't turn them off. Yeah, you guys are on that. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I ain't hating on that. I ain't hating on that at all.
I didn't get into the Sisters of Mercy until Allie.
Really?
Allie got me into it, and you know, like recently, like within the last 5 years, probably, maybe.
Well, I did, because I almost shit in your seat when you told me, and I was like, do you know what I just put on my phone? What? Fucking the cover of Gimme Shelter by the Stones. And you're like, what? I was like, listen.
Yep.
Get it plugged in.
Yeah, I didn't know they had covered that.
And yes, you're absolutely right. And but like, I've been a fan since the 90s, and I kept keeping my eye on this one shirt that they had at Spencer's, and my friend Snuffy got the goddamn thing, and it was gorgeous fucking shirt, man. Andrew Wright on it. It was good shit. But yeah, I mean, I listen. My specter of listening to music began to widen in the 90s. But the other thing that you can goddamn guarantee and thank Pantera for is everybody keeps talking about how metal is eternal and all that. No, that shit almost got put out in the 90s. It almost got stamped out. Because the little dude from Seattle stood up one day and said, well, the light's out. It's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us. And if any of you've ever read any H.P. Lovecraft about the elder gods who existed, just they weren't man nor woman. They just shrugged off imps from their cores. Instead of fucking, they shit and came these little spores that became little versions of them, that became full versions that out little versions of them. And they just kind of made up the darkness. And they'd always been here. They were never going to leave. That was them. And this extraterrestrial being one day said, let there be light. And when he said that, he cast these beings behind the wall of sleep, behind the wall of the black. And when you're looking at a mirror, well, you got people looking back at you. Not so much people, but people who would very much like to come over here and show us how the other half lives forever. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But see, for me, Aaron, I was in my teens I was like 11 or 12 when that shit hit. And for me at that time, it was fucking Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind, Power Slave, and fucking Live After Death, and Somewhere in Time. Did I already say that?
I don't remember.
Well, everything from those. And I listened to the hell out of Iron Maiden and ZZ Top's Eliminator. That was another mainstay. Van Halen 2, Van Halen 84, and 5150. Of course, Dave Lee Roth's Eat 'em and Smile.
Mm-hmm.
Any song about the Statue of Liberty's fucking tits. And you know, that was what I listened to. But in the 90s, I was in my 20s. 18, 19, later, 94, I was 20. And so, music was evolving and maturing and becoming shorter hair with corduroys and striped sweaters and $5 guitars. It was the second coming of the punk revolution. How kind of the Ramones kind of pushed all those other bands out, but just never achieved the commercial success and respect that Nirvana commands. I don't so much agree with it. Yeah, fuck yeah, Nathan. You had a good childhood then. I don't so much agree with it, but that's just how the fuck it is. I mean, you know, a lot of things I don't agree with, but that's just how the fuck it is. Some things will never change. But anyways, when all that was going on, metal was getting pushed out. Overkill put out another one of my favorite heavy metal albums, an album called WFO, Wide Fucking Open. And, it was fucking awesome. And, yeah, I had a friend who loved Mastodon. And, but as it matured onward and became bigger, it too began to kind of command the room, and all the other rock bands were kind of pushing themselves out the door and into the underground, into the sewers. Mm. And I still listened. I still followed them. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't think Kurt Cobain was a voice of a generation. It was just good radio play. He didn't piss anybody off indirectly. Oh, he took full-on swings at the rednecks. He took full-on fucking Hail Marys in the face of rednecks. He's the one who likes all our pretty songs, and he likes to sing along, and he likes to shoot his gun, but he don't know what it means. Tomato, tomato. Don't hate me. I didn't write the fucking lyrics. However, there was a guy in New York City by way of Detroit who had a band who he fused his two favorite bands into. Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd. And he merged it together into this powerhouse four-piece that would have changed the world and would have went commercial if they would have got the same amount of radio play that everybody else got. They got minimal play. And it's because the singer was very, very controversial. And one of my favorite lines, "So what, maggot, you rock star moron. You make me vomit, now pass the bourbon. I don't take lip, I bow to no one. Don't pledge allegiance to flags, I burn them." The only time I ever saw that video. And then I saw that that label dropped them.
Yeah.
And then they went underground. Hey Geffen, look at me. I'm rocking every single night. Criticized and I'm crucified because I'm ready for another fight. Where it comes from, I don't know. Just living here, you get a rotten soul. Here's another one from 1991. The bars are open all night. That damn AIDS test got me so uptight. Pay your money to the landlord. Donald Trump is just a money whore.
That is some great shit.
Under my bed, there's a baseball bat. No goddamn tax is gonna break my back. I'm in the wasteland. Mama, you know it's true. And no motherfucker's gonna tell me what to do. I'm sorry, folks. That completely gripped me even before the motherfucker wrote those lyrics. I discovered Warrior Soul in 1990. Their first release, Last Decade Dead Century, came out in 1989 on DGC Records. Do you know who was also on DGC and got more radio play because it tested more on the radio, but it tested better on the radio?
Who's that?
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
DGC, their biggest cash cow and crop was Nirvana. And they began to cut money from all the other acts they had to further progression and money. And it was a conscientious decision to cut the band who was disrespecting our country. When all Kurt Cobain was doing was disrespecting their youth. So I'm sorry to all you people out there that love Nirvana. Good, because it gave us Dave Grohl, and Dave Grohl's a gift. I truly, deeply believe Dave Grohl is a gift. Probot is the best fucking thing that motherfucker ever did. On Southern Lord Records, that to which houses most of Wino's acts, that to which Phil Anselmo was interviewed for a Wino documentary that basically opened the world to the earliest forms of doom metal, is what they call it. But I have to agree with J.D. Crenice, man. Speaking of that, and speaking of Texas, speaking of doom metal.
Yeah.
Cronice I watched an interview with him talking about some stuff they're going to be doing. J.D. Crenice is guitar player and singer for The Sword. Again, another Texas band. So we're still in the same wheel. We're still in the same relevancy. We're still about on the edge of the end of Pantera, though. They don't like being called doom metal or sludge metal or stoner metal. They said it makes it sound like a restaurant name. It's all heavy metal.
Yeah.
I can't argue with that.
No, I don't argue with that at all.
Because what are you going to do? You go call Black Sabbath stoner metal?
I mean, some people have. A lot of people have.
Then call them goth metal then, too.
Because they are, but if they are, you know, that's the thing. There's those stupid little fucking distinctions like that. Like, they're useful in a way to describe things, but people try to put things in these little categories and shit, and we don't really fit a category. Like, I don't think any band that I've ever really known of fits a category unless they define that genre.
Do you know what I like to call us?
What's that?
Heavy metal blues.
I say that a lot, actually. That's pretty much what we are.
People ask what we sound like. I said, we sound like heavy metal blues. And they're like, huh? I said, my messages from the devil are spoken in clear English. I don't roar or growl. I roar or growl to get a goddamn point across now, mind you. Because I realize that I kind of have a Patti Smith kind of way to me, too. I'll speak my poems and speak lyrics and kind of do to that point. And Nick ain't no fucking joke. And I'm telling you, I wish I was there last year because I would have loved to see The Sword again. And Kyle and I are buddies, which cuts me to the point. Since I did the exodus of the emails, the purge, 26,000 emails.
Jesus, dude.
Goodbye. So now I hook my shit up. Fuck yeah. Well, yeah, I learned some cutoffs and you know, little shortcuts, but still it was a 3-day operation. But anyhow, since I get emails from The Sword, you know, Kyle Shutt's got a solo album out now.
Really?
The new video is out.
Oh?
It ain't bad, dude.
That's cool. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm real excited to hear that.
I really like Kyle's playing.
You know what I love about him? How personable he is, and those goddamn delicious silver bolts he plays.
Yeah.
See, if I played bass, it'd be a P. If I play guitar, it would be a Les Paul. Those motherfuckers are just sex and scared wood.
They're beautiful. They don't fit me.
No, because yours fits you.
It's a weird. It's just an ergonomics thing.
I want to say, I bet if I had one, I bet I'd kill one.
Oh, probably.
I just hold it all day long, big. You know, I just lick it.
I love how people are in the chat geeking out about stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah, see, we're trying to network, get people involved in things. And, you know, yeah, see, and I like talking music, comic books, and hockey more than just about anything else. And toys, too, because I do have kind of a decent knowledge in toys. I know a thing or two about toys. But I really and truthfully, I don't get to really do that too much anymore because of all kinds of shit that's gone down.
I would just sit here and talk about guitar. That's what I would do.
See, like, there's going to have to be...
It's the only thing I know anything about.
We're going to have to do an episode about my boys from West Ham here eventually. And we'll have to do one about Mr. Vi, too.
Oh, well.
You know, I mean, Because, like I said, folks, right now we're going to do as many as we can. 2 a week is the suggested projection of what we're trying to do with it. But if we can fit our balls around 3, we'll fit our balls around 3. We might go out and experience something and do a special broadcast. You don't know what we'll do. But whoever's up, whatever's going on, tune in with us. And if you don't, catch up with us later. I mean, we're trying to give people a new platform to stand on. And you play pretty good air guitar.
He knows all of my solos.
I do.
And he can sing them.
I can.
And I had to miss one practice in the entire history, the 9-year history of this band. I've missed, I think, one practice, right? Something like that.
They were all like, there's just no way. I said, you motherfuckers we need to work.
So Lee grabs a kazoo, and he starts singing my parts into the kazoo, and he can sing my solos.
They were looking over at each other going, strangely, they're perfect. And Eric's sitting up there going, don't you watch him on stage? He air guitars them.
He does.
I mean, and I know the bass lines. I know Eric's drumming. I know where every fucking snare is going to go. And, yes, he is. I mean, don't sell yourself short, dude. Break both your legs, sit in a hospital, and have nothing else to do. By God, I bet you'll come out playing fucking Beethoven. Sorry. But no, it's true, because I've known people who've had, like, life-threatening injuries and shit, and they would pick up an instrument, and they would go out and do shows afterwards.
Strange. I just grew up out in the middle of nowhere, like, and had no friends, and was a shy, quiet hillbilly.
Johnny B. Good.
Yeah, I was Johnny B. Good.
He used to carry his guitar in a gunny sack. Yes, ma'am, a plastic kazoo. They don't make metal ones anymore because people are scared they're going to make them into... I shit you not. Look at it. Look at that goddamn thing.
I mean, it's not wrong.
You just remove the wax paper and put a fucking screen in there, you go. All night long, all night away. Everyone you meet, go drop a little beat in your kazoo. They gonna puff, you gonna puff. You gonna puff the boat too all night long. Yes! I ain't gonna fucking say it.
Oh Lord, that makes me so happy.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Shit on a shingle on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Saturday. No, but like I said though, taking it back to what it is, we're gonna do stuff just to have you all meet up and shoot the shit and talk and have a little bit of fun and and network. And if Harrah gets its shit together and we actually get to play a show, maybe some of you fucktards will come out.
Please do, yeah. I mean,
maybe some of you motherfuckers will actually show your goddamn faces from behind the screen.
I mean, we might broadcast, but it's more fun live,
Yeah, and if we do, have someone fucking broadcast it and post it to our shit. I mean, that's how home videos are made, ain't it?
Yep. I'm all for as much media as possible, man. You can't. It's almost impossible these days to be overexposed. It really is.
He is bad. Yeah, it is.
Because like it's all about like there's so much. To me, like the internet's done a couple of really important things. Like it's democratized everything. There's not really gatekeepers anymore.
Yeah.
Like nobody can really stop you.
It's the great wide open right now.
From doing whatever it is you want to do. I mean, the tools are cheap and plentiful, and you know, if you got the time, you can do it.
Until someone comes along and fucks it up.
Right. But the problem is, like, everybody can do it. So there is so much content, and you just have it's cutting through it. You have to cut through it, and you know, and so we're starting with our friends. You know, we know almost every single person that's watching this live stream. Probably, you know, it's like you're all pretty much our friends or fans of the band, very close people to us. So we're starting with you guys, and we're just, you know, we're trying to branch out a little bit. Eventually, we'll bring guests on here that are from different disciplines and do different things.
Yeah.
Other bands, you know, hopefully we'll get some comedians. Hopefully we'll get an actor or two, or whoever. You know, just whoever wants to be on. Hell, just our friends. You know, come on.
I can't wait for that myself.
You know, I think it'll be a lot more fun. I mean, I have fun with the format the way it is now, but I just feel like eventually, once we're able to do that, we might actually reach people that don't already know us. I would love to play Nashville. That'd be a huge dream. Yeah,
and maybe this time I won't have explosive shit. I've been to Nashville once. I got to see Iron Maiden.
Never been that.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. I loved it, and I was there probably around the time when the Predators were in the playoffs.
I believe I've only been to Tennessee once, twice. I don't remember. We Tri-Element. Most of you know, I played in Tri-Element for a long time, and we played. We played in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Thank you, Carol.
And in I think it was Silva, North Carolina, which is really like next door to Asheville, and we did that back-to-back nights, and it's a great trip, man. We need to get to Asheville sometime. We have a lot of fun in Asheville.
Yeah, I'd be all about that shit.
Asheville and Kent. Kent was a lot of fun. My favorite place we played is Athens. The Smiling Skull, man. The Smiling Skull was awesome. I would be all about having you on there, and that'd be so cool. God
damn, how many times have we like permeated your nice place with our pungent stench and farted freely and took advantage of the plastic animals that were in the place. You know, yes, you can definitely come here and finger fuck my toys. And shoot the shit. But, yeah.
The Black Skull.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that, man. We'll totally do that. Because, I mean, I would not be against GT and the F out of here.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's definitely on the agenda.
Jesus, fuck that! I'll tell you what, Chief, you did something that seldom happens. No, thank you, mate. Yeah, that's pretty fucking good right there.
Huge.
Yeah, because that's the first time that's happened to us in a long while.
Yeah.
Because so many times, like, I'm not going to mention names, at least not right now.
But we did sort of disappear for a while. We burned out, and we
had some issues with band people. You know, it happens.
I think was it in Queen of the Damned where Lestat like basically burns up in the desert and digs himself underground and just like kind of hides out for a few hundred years. That's kind of what we're doing right now. It's not gonna be a few hundred years.
No,
like a couple years.
Yeah, it's been about a year,
about a year
and
a half. About a year and a half is what we've been out. But you know, like it's not gonna be long.
But what went down though, a lot of the time, like when I was coming up.
Jack says hi.
Oh, the old Big Red.
I love it.
He's such a beautiful baby. But like, anyhow, when I used to play with like Sifter and Quartet, there were all kinds of bands that you piggyback on. Like there would be a couple of like Grandpappy's Lap, Hillbilly Death Ride, and Stone Contact. You know, they gave you press, they helped you out, and then when you got something, you returned the favor. You name dropped them. If you got a big show, you tell these motherfuckers, like even people, you know, look, these motherfuckers helped us out. These people helped us out, and I got in a lot of shit for it because there were a lot of bands who would come up and be like, "Hey, we want to be on this, but we got this show ourselves." You know, I asked you a couple of times to help me put shows together, and they would look at me and be like, "Well, but you know, it's just how it is." I said, "Well, you know how this is." And I said, "I'm about to call these people because those people would be waiting at the wings. They would know that your ass was getting the show, and they would and then what they would do is they would get the show, take the show over, and then say, look, this place is full of our fans. It might be your show, but here's your pay. Thanks, wimp. Get yourself another." You know, and I mean,
Jesus.
that wasn't how it was supposed to go. Now, my people, my good people, yes, Stitch, yes, indeed. And anyhow, what ended up happening is, yeah, foolish of me, I tell you, we got them. But we, a lot of times, the people that helped us, we would completely and totally help out. And we did so many different things together, and it became this like very close family. And if one band could do it, you just kind of Texas switcheroo. Mm-hmm. And there was no egos, there was no bullshit, there was no nothing. And it was just a great, good time. And you know, and then what ended up happening is the people that would try to push you out of your show, they ended up just imploding because nobody wanted to play with them anymore.
That's normally the way it goes, yeah.
And yeah, man, well, and it became, we became this like group of people. Well, in the past few years of playing, I was involved with some people who were a part of something, but I think just kind of forgot about us. They forgot about us, and if they gave us shows, they gave us not much of a variety or a chance. Like, they were doing all kinds of different shows every place else, but would never offer it to us. And I noticed this, but I didn't say anything. I just kept my fucking mouth shut. Because, fuck knows, every time I try to be honest, I'm just a guy whose intentions are good. Oh, crime, please don't let me be misunderstood. But goddamn it, I always am. And I always end up getting fucking, that motherfucker. You know, somebody go over there and shave his balls.
Somebody shoot.
Real close to the groin, Mike. You know, but it happens. And, but anyhow, we had a group of people that just took care of each other. And we worked. Do not touch the trim. We all kind of took care of each other, and then of course things happened, and like with every syndicate there's conspiracy. With every garden a serpent comes. Yeah, there's always something. Intrigue, there's always something that happens.
It's just,
and it all just eventually fell apart. And when it fell apart, it's just not been able to pick itself back up. Yeah. And you know, and I mean, it's been strong. It's been strong, but then ultimately just, and it's happened more times than not. And what I would love to see personally, and this is kind of like a retired Wayne Gretzky looking back on the sport of hockey. Not by any means do I mean that I'm saying I'm Wayne Gretzky, but I happen to know things. I smoke Camels, drink Coke, and know things. You know, it just happens like that. And but what ended up going down, and what should go down, is I would love to see a new era of new bands that have great, strong music, great strong ethics will help each other out. And all of us together, no ego, no I'm da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm a rabbit-tabba-teba, I'm Zabba-Zooba-Zeba. Don't you know who I am, motherfucker? And that type of behavior, we don't need that. We need people who are just trying to build the shit up through, oh yeah, 2001 to 2008, what? I'd say even to 2009. Because even Lot 4 did good in 2009.
Right before KB arrived on the scene, there went the neighborhood.
But you know what, dude? It was heading for that. And a lot of bands were dying in that period of time. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, you know what? There's so much good material that I have. And a lot of the material that I had, I was like, the only goddamn fucking Hulk song I wrote was from Sifter. Mm-hmm. There was some driving, heavy, slamming fucking songs we did with Quartet. And, you know, and there was some great songs that I had done with other people that I had incorporated in. Mm-hmm. And there was just great music there and just a great time. And it was like all of my personal favorite songs. And strangely enough, the way we restructured them was exactly how I wanted them. And I didn't even have to offer it to you. You were the one that came to me and was like, look, a lot of this is, every goddamn bit of it's awesome. But I don't like some of this. It can be better than awesome if we do it like this. And fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, and that's fucking true, Jimmy. We did do a lot of that shit on our own. And there was no help. I mean, the only help we had were each other, the music scene in that period of time. And it was just, yeah! Yes, Steve. Yes. I agree with that. I mean, you know, there ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind, baby. There ain't nothing wrong with wearing flashy clothes. No. There ain't nothing wrong with mascots.
You just gotta be able to back it up.
Yeah, man. It's okay.
I mean, we razzle the dazzle and flash the lights, but we can play, you know?
Iron Maiden has become even more flashier over the times because with every song, the backdrop comes out to every song they play. Yeah. To boast the artwork, the era, the music. Flight of Icarus is now probably one of the more famous ones because Steve never liked that song. Steve never cared for that song. And now that's being played, and some of the best pictures of the band are from that because, like, Steve will be up like this doing the bass thing, and behind him it looks like he's got angel wings. Because there's Icarus on the blow up, and Bruce comes out with two flamethrowers and a microphone. You know, Fitzy! And yes, Motorhead, well, yeah, Lemmy had the fucking big metal bomber that came down. And like when the album, like what I always liked is when they do Ace of Spades. Like, the bomber would either go up, everything would go out of the way, and Lemmy would say something. He'd give, like, one little inspirational speech. Like, and everything louder and everything else, he had the 1916 banner behind him. So, well, they're going to tear this fucking place down. Turn it into an art museum or something. So, let's make this place louder than hell one more fucking time. Maybe see if we can tear it down ourselves. And right when that fucker drops and fucking Filthy Animal hits into fucking Ace of Spades, that's when the fucking War Pig shows up behind. And the lights go straight on at Lemmy barreling those fucking vocals out. I love it. And
love them so much.
And I'll tell you, yeah, dude, and I'll tell you what. Let's bring this back around. Structure. bringing this back around. Everybody got on Phil Anselmo because at the end of one of his big shows he hosted for for Housecore, he's up there slapping his chest and slamming his, white power. Everybody's like, man, fuck him. And I said, does anybody remember the White People Day speech? You didn't know that? It's like, oh, you didn't know Rob Halford. You didn't know anything about Rob Halford either, did you? Okay. How about you go sit down over there before you fall down? I'm surprised you can't fucking walk. However, I had problem with Phil with one thing. And if I ever met Phil, I'd ask him, because I probably could do that. Would you do me a big favor, baby? Please learn the lyrics to Ace of Spades. If you are a metalhead and you don't know the lyrics to Ace of Spades, motherfucker, hand in your metal card. Just hand that shit in. That'd be like walking around the ghetto without a pimp cane or your pimp cup. Hand your shit in. We must review this with the board. Can't not know the fucking lyrics to fucking Ace of Spades. Because I was singing it and I was like, what the fuck are you singing? And, it is... Oh... God damn it, Steve, you done put an egg in my brain. Now watch. It's shit's gonna come out my chest and hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragtime gal. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've kicked around the idea of writing a book. I've kicked around the idea, but it'd be all over the fucking place. I'd need like 5 people to tell me, motherfucker, tell me what happened July the 5th. God damn it. Like, somebody hit him with a bag of Ritalin. Don't feed him to him, just hit him with it. Just give him put 1,000 of them in that pillowcase there. Knock a shit out of him. Maybe that'll knock a son of a bitch straight.
Oh, Jesus.
Probably not.
Probably
but anyways, But yeah, like I said, though, Phil still has it because, the Down albums are great. They're just not NOLA and Down 2. Those motherfuckers, oh man, they're perfect recordings. They're perfect recordings. And he's trying to move on with everything that's happened. And it's such a shame, but at that Super Joint Ritual show, everybody like out in the crowd was like, man, Pantera's done. And this before Dom got murdered. And I told everybody, I said, I kind of puffed up and was like, I don't think it's done. What they need to do, they need to go out to some hotel out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Without assistance, without people, without family, without friends, without wives, without girlfriends, without kids, without anything. I said, them 4 drunken, pot-headed bastards all need to go into a hotel room, maybe get some pizza afterwards, and maybe have someone say, after you hear all the shit happen, call and ask if we would like to have something. The 4 of you, or the 4 of them, beat the shit out of each other. Beat the absolute shit out of each other. Break arms and legs if you have to. Seriously hurt one of you. Seriously hurt one of them. And everybody in the crowd's jaws are dropping. I said, do you understand what these fuckers did? From 1991 to 1999, as Adrian Smith mentioned in the Iron Maiden DVD of Live After Death, we spent the 80s in a tour bus. Pantera spent the 90s into the 2000s in a tour bus. They were recording and writing songs on the goddamn road.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as they would get off the road, they would shit out another fucking album, do another tour. Besides Iron Maiden touring a fucking phone app, Pantera is the only band I ever knew to tour a live album. And that was the first time I got to see him. So Phil was already heroined out by the time I got to see him and got to see him for the first time. And Scott Ian came out playing Dime's Dime Bolt, and Sebastian Bach played, because Sebastian Bach opened, Anthrax was the middle act, and then it was them. It was them. And Jim, you got your fucking ribs broken in that thing by them sharp-toothed fucks from Pittsburgh. Gee, I watched it happen. I was sitting up in the fucking, yes, Wasted Years. That's my second favorite. And my first favorite is Hallowed Be Thy Name. Hallowed Be Thy Name is my favorite Iron Maiden song. And Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, that's my other one. If I had to pick 3 Iron Maiden songs, that's my 3. Those motherfuckers. You goddamn right you got them broken there. You got fucked up, sir. You got fuckity fucked up. And they were aiming for you. And I mean, you couldn't, I think you might have looked up at me at the last second, and I'm like, no. One of them was like slingshotting the other. And like they were flying, they were these bald-headed, shirtless dudes with chiseled Terry Crews bodies. And they had mild, sharp teeth.
Jesus, man.
And they bam into people. And it was in the arena where the Wheeling Nailers played. Yes! That's the show I was talking about, Steve. Remember when, yeah, you did. You stayed in that pit, Jimmy, you crazy fuck. But out back of the Super Joint show, Steve, is where I'm saying this about Pantera. And I was telling everybody, I was like, and then after they beat the shit out of themselves and talk each other out, work it out, eat pizza, drink liquor off each other's dickheads, and then get back together and put one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time together. If not the greatest heavy metal album. And when I was saying that and was puffing up at it, the crowd, like, everybody just looks up and I hear, out of everything, that goddamn solution's the only one I think is going to work too. And you couldn't be more right yourself. And I turned around, I feel long goddamn way from Charleston, ain't you, boy? And I looked up at him and I'm like, yeah. Yeah, because like Steve and I were at that Super Joint show, and it was, yeah, because they had, I worked my way up to the front, and there was a 2x4 with that glow strip around it. And Moose, you remember Moose, the bounty guard, Steve? Remember him? Steve, Moose, and Phil had been fucking with Steve, or with Moose the whole night. Moose is the Hulk, if the Hulk was a big teddy bear man. He's the strongest man I've ever seen. Remember, that was the bouncer that rock bottomed my friend out on Canal Avenue, because he kept punching him, and he just kept, stop hitting me. Stop hitting me, dude. And he turned and looked at me and said, do you know this guy? That's done! And I was like, Moose, and I'm like, Josh, stop hitting him. And he said, I'm going to hurt him. And Josh, not a fucking. And I looked at Moose and I said, do what you will. And Moose picked that motherfucker up like this. Probably about 190 pound dude. Held him up like this and BAM! On the fucking Canal Boulevard. Dude, you heard his body just crunch on the black tar. And he and he said, someone called the paramedics for that piece of shit. And he was this big, sweet dude, man. He was such a baby doll. I miss that fucker. If anybody out there knows me, tell him I love him. And he becomes very poignant in this. I'm getting pushed so hard up against that plank of wood, I can't breathe. It's just like, imagine a wood bar just right there. And it was stopping my heart. So, like in wrestling, if you put somebody in a move, you grab the arm to make sure the arm's up.
Yeah.
And Moose kept doing that with me. And he grabbed my face like this and tap. Because you're very close with people in the pit. You're very close. You touch people. But depending on how you touch people is how they respect you. If you got your elbow in someone's face, they're going to put their ass in yours if it comes to that point. But if you just got your arm kind of rested, because you can't put your arms like this, you'll suffocate. But I'll put my arms on people's shoulders. And I did that to a chick at a guar show. She kept pushing me off. So I put my hand on her face, just shoved her out into the fucking crowd, and they flipped her up in the air. I wasn't trying to put my hands on her tits, the dumb twat. She was the one turning blue beside of me a couple of times because her dumb ass couldn't put her arms up. Jesus fucking Christ on a Trisket. But what ended up happening is I couldn't breathe. Sup, Joe? I couldn't breathe. And all of a sudden I started feeling something like right here. Like I started feeling the wood kind of doing this. And I was like, that's kind of weird. It's pushing. And like Wile E. fucking Coyote, Moose is a bodyguard for wrestlers now? No fucking shit. Color me completely shocked to shit. If that's it, oh man, that's awesome. Those wrestlers better not fuck with him. He will tear them a new asshole. I'm serious, dude. The only guy that I've ever that would probably give him a fight would be Andre the Giant. I'm not kidding. Moose is, I mean, and I think I know a thing or two about fucking wrestling. But if Moose went into wrestling, he would be a fucking superstar champion. I mean, because he's just got that frame. He's huge. Like, husband, you'd have to be like this at him. Like him, like Timmy was even looking up to him.
Wow.
And Thor's looking at me going, that's a big, big motherfucker. Please tell me he's a nice man. And I said, oh, he's a sweetheart and absolutely loves me. Oh, good. And Thor don't get scared. No, I didn't know. Oh my God, if you see that beautiful big goofball, hug him and kiss him for me and tell him I love him. And tell him I was talking about him on this podcast. Which I'm finishing here. All of a sudden that plank of wood goes snap. And like Wile E. Coyote, dude, I had a moment of slow motion happening. The wood goes kerplat. I look up at Moose like this and I go, and the entire contents of the Monkey Bar on 4th Avenue, Huntington, completely fall on top of me. And Moose goes charging. And he knocks Phil out of the way. I see it as I'm going down. I hear Phil go, hey, you big motherfucker. And Moose gets, I see Moose turn around and get in Phil's face and go, Lee just fell down, God damn it. And he's, Lee! I hear his voice over the hums of the guitars and everything. Over Bowers and fucking Kevin's guitars, because their amps were right in front of me. And I hear, Lee! And I feel this Titan's arm, or hand, clutch my left bicep. And then I feel a hand of, just get a handful of hair. And they both begin to, like, pull me out of the ground like a botfly out of somebody's back. And it was kind of that way, too. And when I popped and bounced up on the stage, I kind of landed into Moose's arms. Yes, my fat ass landed into his arms. And he said, you were a goner. And I said, no, I wasn't. Knew you'd save me. And I kissed him on the cheek, and he said, people are going to talk. I said, they're going to talk anyways. And I said, what am I going to do? And Phil looked at me and said, you stay here, brother. And he slapped my face, and when he slapped my face, he had a handful of my fucking hair from where he and Moose were pulling me out of the fucking stage. And Phil looks at me and goes, long goddamn way from Charleston, ain't you? That's what he always said to me. And I said, Phil, it's just whatever. You just stand right here. And if anyone fucking has any problem, you remember this, Steve? He was standing up there where he's all raising hell. If anybody has any problems, don't fucking say anything. And then everybody started getting up there. And he's like, maybe if they booked a bigger fucking place, shit like this wouldn't happen. People were climbing up on the fucking stage around it. But nobody was messing with me because I had two of the biggest bastards in that house watching my back. The man you paid to see and the man you paid to protect all your asses and the man you see. And it was a great and ripping evening. And there was a couple of times like I didn't know this was going on with him and Phil. And Moose said, I know how much you love him. And the only reason why I didn't put his fucking ass out in the goddamn street is because you love him. And because Phil is that guy. He had to show. Yes, I remember the Clutch show. And goddamn it, I wished that somebody would have got me a fucking shirt of the Lee shirt of him wearing the Yankees hat and eating the hot dog. God damn it, I'll never get that fucking shirt. He's a fucking, I think he was an Orioles fan. And he lost a bet. He was their sound man for Clutch. Lee the sound man. Mm. And you got, like, if you worked the staff for that show, you got a t-shirt. And I helped them load the son of a bitches up, but nobody thought to get me mine. Because I was too busy working. Mm. And Oscar kept dragging me around all over the place. Their tour manager, because there was a predominant singer in Charleston who cussed me out. Is he a Boston fan? God damn it! That's right. That is right. Well, man, it's been like what 12 years ago. But no, he had me open the door for Neil because Neil wasn't feeling good. He picked up a bug somewhere up north when they were coming down. And that singer comes running up cussing me out. Where the fuck have you been? We've been loading the stage by ourselves. You're not, this isn't a fucking bullshit thing where you can just talk to people. And Oscar, their manager, just turns around and looks at him and goes, who in the fuck are you? He's this little dude with a little straw hat and a little backpack he carries his laptop in. And god damn, he's fury with skin on him. And he's just this sweet little man. Just such a sweet, just, you wouldn't tell that man was hard. And yeah, 12 years. And yeah, he was reading the book on terrorism. Yeah, because he talked to you and me about it. And because you were the only other person that fucking Oscar would allow it back there with me. And anyways, like that dude come running up and Oscar started screaming at him. And I looked at that dude, and I'm going to keep his name secret for purposes. And I said, dude, Captain Fan Man, meet Oscar, Clutch's man. They don't take a shit unless Oscar tells them where to poop. And Oscar goes, I like that. You go back up the fucking front and do what you're fucking told. And he just tore his ass up one side and down the other. You fuck yeah, year long. Dear Daniel had a little girl, and he got a horror award for his soundtrack on Halloween. Like when you're hearing the dun dun, he's the dude tearing that shit back. But it goes loud back because without that. But dude, you busted your ass that show, Steve. You really did. And I picked up a lot of respect for you at that show Because unlike me, who cussed and bitched at everybody, you just put your head down and you busted your ass. Kudos to you, man. I'm proud of you. It was a pleasure working with you that evening.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey,
Hi, Sheila.
but anyhow, but like I said, back to Pantera and all that. When it comes down to it, it was a beautiful thing. The only thing that I hate though now, and this is going to be an unpopular opinion, is all the 9-year-old kids playing their deeds and playing Cowboys from Hell terribly and then giving up, but just going woo. It was much more than that, man. It wasn't just music. It was movement. It was something power. And yep. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember the tomato story. Yes, sir. I remember that, and that was a good session. I remember that, and I remember cussing them out over some shit too. And fucking, he just looks at me, and I said, "You're not supposed to be doing." And it was him, and I was like, "Oh, and that's why shit ain't supposed to happen back here." He said, "You're doing your job well." Yeah, Clutch has always been a great band to work for. Them and Unknown Henson were always my favorite. Hey, Carrie.
What's up?
Nope, Tim didn't make sound check. No, sir, but when is he? Tim is seldom off. But honestly, man, you know, I didn't actually get to see Clutch play until barbecue. Because I was always working it. And Clutch shows are so uncomfortable for me because it's 600, 800-pound, 12-foot tall, bald-headed apes chanting the lyrics so loud you can't hear the band. You can't hear it. You're like, God damn.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, so I didn't even bother. But I got to see him at barbecue one year when I was having a heat stroke. And I thought I was hallucinating because Neil was fucking with the crowd. And that was pretty funny. But anyhow, I digress. But back again, but around that time, it was a golden time for music, and it was a fruitful time. And you know, I love the fact that all the musicians stepped up and started playing the dime bolts and Razorbacks and all that shit and holding on to the legacy that was Dime. And it's a shame now that Vinny's dead and couldn't find a better band to do stuff with. Just didn't like Hell Yeah. Just didn't like Hell Yeah. And it's greatly due to Chad. I don't like his voice. Like, now that first Mudvayne album, God damn! That motherfucker was liquid fire. I got to see them open for a band called Dope and another little band called Slipknot in a place in Pittsburgh called the I See Light Amphitheater. Nice. And the guys in fucking Mudvayne were walking around in that Dig video. They looked in the Dig video. They had their makeup and shit on. And they were out in the crowd holding babies, talking to people. And remember I said that to Ryan. Mm-hmm. I said I was at that show, and because he was the devil of them. Yeah. Because he had his hair in the points, and he had like I want to say he had partials.
He may have, yeah.
And rocking that Warwick bass, and they were fucking killer. I mean, yeah, alcohol and ass indeed. Yes, I agree. Yes, 900-pound organ. Yes, I think. That was the beginnings of possibly a hernia that may end up happening to me someday. Because I felt shit in my belly, and at the time I didn't have a gut that bad. Pull, and I was, and we were how many did it take for us to load that shit up? But anyways, yeah, answer me back in the comments. But like, I like Damage Plan too, and Damage Plan could have been something, but just those guys needed a little bit more seasoning. And I really did like Newfound Power. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great album. And some of Dom's best riffs were on that. It was kind of like their Van Halen 3. Musically, it was awesome. Yeah. I could get behind that. I could see that. It was more of something to just have fun. And maybe so, because they weren't a machine like Pantera was. And they weren't dangerous like Pantera was. It was just more of just like a bunch of guys not doing anything. So let's just sit around, piss in the bowl, and cross the streams and come up with a different flavor for something. And go out and see how much, see if people like it. And kind of like what the Foo Fighters was. Mm-hmm. Like the Foo Fighters was just a side project that Dave Grohl was working on. And then it ended up being the Foo Fighters, you know?
Yeah.
And he ended up being our gift, man. I really do. I truly think that motherfucker's a gift. But anyone that goes to the Grammys wearing a Haunting the Chapel Slayer shirt gets my vote. Just saying. But like I said though, Pantera had a great strength on us, and they were the band who was carrying the flag of heavy metal highest in the commercial realm of the craft. And it's powerful. They were a powerhouse. No, I haven't. I'll have to give that a spin. I bet that's good. And Carol, yeah, you might want to check that out. Corey Taylor's acoustic version of the Love Song. Give that a spin. A couple of my friends on here are Slipknot fans, and yeah, share that shit around. And but it was a beautiful thing to see and witness. And Simon Pegg tweeted after Bowie's death, you know, the Earth has been around roughly 6 billion years. Consider yourself lucky that you actually lived in a time on this earth at the exact same time David Bowie did. Scratch out David Bowie and write Pantera in there.
Yeah.
How about I use another line? When you walk through the world by oneself, you can't be protected. Your trust is in whiskey, weed, and Pantera. It's goddamn electric. Yeah, that's it.
And we should probably sign off here pretty soon. We're on 2 hours, at the 2-hour mark, actually.
Oh, well, okay. If that's the case, we didn't get to talk about Mel Brooks, but watch his movies and laugh. Yeah. It was a side jab to the movie Spaceballs, and he's like, God knows we'll all meet again in Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. Also, technically it was Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. So, you know, I'm trying to put you all up there because I've also been watching another podcast with this comic book chick, and her assistant is always like, well, for people out there that don't understand what you're talking about, could you tell them this? And while she's on one point, he kind of derails her, so she has to give backstory to all of the people out there that may not be as cultured in pop culture as she is. Mm-hmm. And that may be why we kind of fly off topic sometimes. I didn't say this wasn't for people who didn't suffer from OCD and fucking ADHD and OCD. So everybody, don't take your Ritalin and come and listen to us. You know, it'll make sense that way.
Don't take your Ritalin.
I mean, you know, I'm just very sporadic. I bounce off the fucking walls, and I have lots to talk about. And if you like what I like, it's important, because I wouldn't tell you a lie. And if I am telling you a lie, debunk my ass on here. Tell me, Lee, you're wrong. Motherfucker, it was this. See? For instance, Steve called me on, because I thought that Lee was an Orioles fan, but he said he was a Red Sox fan. Mm-hmm. So see, I mean, and that's great, because it's keeping all of us fresh. It's keeping all of us on check. and it's connecting everybody together. And God damn it, folks. Yes, let me say to everybody on here, it has been excellent to see so many people sign in, comment, talk. Halloween discussion in May.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, you talk? I bet he's wanting to talk about John Carpenter's Halloween. I was thinking you were talking about the season. Fuck me rigid. Yeah, see, folks, not wired well. I didn't say I was. And like I told everybody, you can either help us out or not watch. I don't give a fuck nonetheless.
But people are watching.
They are watching. They're commenting. And to each and every one of you that did watch and listen to my stupid ass banter and caterwaul and watch this beautiful son of a bitch try to keep me in check and keep me from being a dumbass, thank you. Thank you both. You both are... You all
of you, plural,
are fucking wonderful. And I did, and I should bring that up. Yes, and to everyone that hasn't subscribed to Harrah, spread us around. Spread us around like peanut butter. We're easy to spread. We're like your mother.
Ooh.
Went
for your mama joke.
Yeah, I went for a mom joke. But anyways, folks, go the fuck to bed. You probably have work tomorrow, and you're probably going to a shit job that nobody gives a shit about you about. Just know something. Know this for truth. Nope, they don't give a shit about you. But I do.
We do.
I do. We do.
Yeah.
And we know the pain.
We make rock and roll for you guys.
And we're here to talk about all kinds of different things on different kinds of spectrums. And I'll say this again, we're gonna have people come over and sit down with us. But the first few episodes we're putting our feet in the water, man.
Seeing who's listening.
Yeah, we're putting our feet in the water. We're letting a few of you get involved. So where you start talking, because I'm gonna tell you right fucking now, the internet is awesome, but as Bloody Rod Smallwood would say, it's the jungle drums of the world. That's what I had paying attention to. Rod Smallwood's Iron Maiden's manager, and he was talking about how that band became successful without radio play, without MTV play. It was the word of mouth, superior album covers, superior music, and an excellent fucking live show, and great products. I don't have the products yet. We've got great artwork, and we've got people involved with the artwork. And I'd love to expand on that. And I'd like to have people on that are diehard fans of us and have them talk about their lives, talk about what they're doing. We will have structure when we have guests, and we'll have a little bit more of things as we go on. But it's starting at the ground. And we are trying to start this at the ground with a strong, sturdy, positive, wonderful, and desperate foundation. You know, all you motherfuckers. We're trying to make it a part of you all just as much as it is us. I've said this before, and I'm not even going to say it again, but just goddamn it, let me do it. Just get out of the fucking way. Kenny, come here and help me, please. And in this case, it was both of us. Oh, God damn it. You go over here, I'll go over here. Exactly.
We just got to do something.
Yeah, and that's what this is, and that's what Not Another Goddamn Podcast is. It's us doing something, even if it's fucking wrong, even if you don't like it, even if you want to fucking use it against us, even if you want to message me and tell me how much of a prick I am. I don't give a fuck. I'll just block you and you won't have to watch it again. And I'll wait for the next asshole to do it. But for all of you people that are entertained and enjoy yourselves and are talking, and I'm trying to enter Oh, the new Pet Cemetery. I talked about that the last podcast. Part 2, Attack of the Ramones. Check that one out. And if you've got argument, message me. Well, I'll discuss my points on it.
Sometimes better is better.
The soil of a man's heart is stonier, Lewis. Anyways,
Just
no, you are, baby. But seriously, guys, thank you again for making two guys smile really fucking big tonight. And again, my special message. Sorry about the pins, Carol. And happy birthday. Hope you had a great one. And everybody, toodaloo, go with God. Don't take no wooden fucking nickels. Don't get your dick caught in your zipper.
hope you get more tootsies and turds.
More tootsies and turds. And please, don't ejaculate in the wind. It's definitely not fucking cinnamon bun sauce.
Don't do anything we wouldn't do, and if you do, name that shit after us.
'Cause God knows I ain't knocking nobody up. Yeah.
Adios.